And a beautiful example of it is in the Pantheon in Rome, Italy. The Romans were the first to exploit the building material, and without its use and great imperial buildings of the Roman Empire would not have been possible. In the Pantheon's dome, the mixture of concrete varied from heavy aggregate in the thick base to lightweight pumice at the top. Made of over 5,000 tons of concrete, the dome is 142 feet in diameter and 71 feet high, and was unsuppressed in size until the 19th century. The Pantheon is the best preserved of all the Roman buildings and the oldest important buildings in the world, with its original roof intact. Now, in regards to the Pantheon, a great building with a lot of concrete being used in it, I had an idea, and I brought in Mas'udshfaqi, who was the top inventor of 2013. How are you?
Greetings to you and all the Press TV viewers in Iran and across the world.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. Now, let's start with the Pantheon. How does a building like that still exist and stand 2,000 years later?
As you know, Pantheon and other projects across the world which date back 2,000 to 3,000 years were built using different materials, mainly concrete. Concrete is the hardest building material known across the world. Nowadays, new technology is used in building materials, including cement, aggregate, and nanomaterials that are used to make concrete. But in the past, concrete was made using older materials, with mortar, one of the most common examples. Other materials were also used, which caused great adhesion between cement, aggregate, and water, which formed the central part of concrete. Nowadays, more modern types of concrete are built. New materials are used. Therefore, higher quality concrete is being produced for global use.
I have a question for you. What made you get involved in the concrete industry?
This goes back to the year 2001, when the 9/11 attacks happened. Back then, I was not yet a student of civil engineering. I was very interested in civil engineering. It was very interesting to me to know how all these skyscrapers and tunnels are designed and built. Then I heard the news that the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center had been attacked and destroyed. This pretty much preoccupied my mind. After a bit of research, I realized there was an institute called the American Concrete Institute, which is a global provider of concrete. For a while, this institute held different conferences and focused on a type of concrete which was only resistant to pressure. After the attacks, they realized that concrete should not only be resistant to pressure, rather they realized that the world needs a type of concrete that is both resistant to pressure and remains stable when subjected to heat and chemicals. For instance, the Persian Gulf is the most important area where chemicals penetrate, because the water there contains both chlorine, acid, and solid-plate ions. This caused the concrete that was used in the Persian Gulf to be destroyed after a period of 5 to 10 years. This made me focus on how we could make concrete in Iran and across the world that would have the highest degree of resistance to chlorine, acid, and solid-plate ions, and would also be resistant to heat. Today, I have built a type of concrete that can stand pressure of up to 4,200 kilograms per square centimeter and is almost impenetrable. This product holds 9 international patents.
You have the world, you have Iran. How does the world and Iran coincide in the concrete industry?
To be very clear, this goes back to the year 2004. Back then, when we were the only team that was dispatched for the US competitions. There we thought that the US and Russian-made concrete were the best, because these are the countries with a lot of background in this field. But then we realized that our concrete is of much higher quality. This made the US government bar all Iranian students from entering concrete-making competitions in the US for a period of 10 to 11 years. Iran ranked first in the world in terms of technical know-how in making concrete. Due to sanctions, there is a gap between the technical know-how that exists in the country and the actual concrete that is made in the Iranian concrete industry. This has caused Iranian concrete to be of a slightly lower quality compared to international standards. Looking at this from another perspective, we can say other countries have higher technology but are weaker than in Iran in the implementation process. This has helped Iran rank among the top world countries in concrete making technology.
و این موضوع باعث شد که کشور ایران از لحاظ تکنولوژی بتون در صدر کشورهای صاحب نام دنیا قرار بگیره.
Funny cat politely asked for more head scratches.